What's up, guys? This is Dusk from Sons of Liberty Airsoft Group. Hey guys, I got another M40 video for you guys. A lot of these upgrades slash modifications, that says in the title, a lot of these are really cheap. You don't really need a lot of money to do them, and I would say that the least cost you could do for it is almost for free. It just depends on what you have. Really looking forward to this video because this has been one of the more simpler videos I've done, and it's incredibly effective at the same time, which usually in the airsoft world, you know, we obviously need to buy a lot of high dollar parts in order to get good results, but this will change the game. Before we go any further, just want to say the usual as per the norm. If you guys like this video and if you guys want to see more M40 content, be sure to click the subscribe and like button and click that little bell so that way you don't miss any of the latest videos on our channel. It may be just a sub, maybe just be a click, but honestly guys, it does mean a lot to us, so we'd really appreciate your help. Alright guys, so here's a quick part list for you guys. So most of these you should be able to find at Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, etc. Worst case scenario, you buy them online. Materials consist of the following, which is a roll of Teflon tape, a spool of solder for like a soldering iron and that type of thing, crazy glue, and we have one more item that when we get to it, I'll give you a little bit more specific because I don't really have a name for it yet. The first thing we're going to talk about is the solder. So in this demonstration right here, as you can see as the video fast forwards ahead, you'll notice that when I take out the piston, you'll see that the whole entirety of the piston is wrapped in the solder. What this is meant to do is this is meant to give the piston some added on weight. This is meant to reduce the rattling of the gun once you pull the trigger. You'll notice that there's a substantial rattle through it. And this is one of the things that mitigates those factors, making it a lot easier to control your weapon during firing. It is also something else that can be used when it comes to Joule creeping. It's also the principle of physics that has to do with weight. I'm not entirely sure about what the explanation is, but I do know that it was explained to me, and as well I've also tested the theory out for myself. When it comes to wrapping the solder around your piston, this is how it should be, as demonstrated. It's going to be a tad bit fast forward, so I'll explain it so that way any of the parts you may miss, you can see. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to start from the neck up. The little part that has the little rubber piece, the top of it, where the air gets pressed out. You're going to start from the very bottom of that neck, and you're going to wrap towards that top evenly, and then you're going to work your way down to the middle of it. You're going to make sure that it's even and it's as tight a fit as possible so that way you could fit it right back into your piston, so that way it'll function just the same way as when you took it out. Now the next mod I want to talk to you about is the magical item that I said you guys would need. One of the items that you can compare this to is, think of it almost like a nail that's used to hang a picture frame. One of those really thin nails that you could find at a Michael's, Lowe's, or Home Depot, that sort of thing, or like any arts and crafts store. Now the reason why I'm telling you guys about this is because there is a piece on the piston, on the black part of your sniper rifle. It is just called as the air brake. It is located in the center of the piston. It's a small little pocket directly in the middle. What this air brake does is all the remaining air that does not get pushed into the piston is then redistributed back in through the piston once the trigger is pulled and the piston slams forward. What this mod will do is it will take all that remaining air and it will push it outwards, so that way all the air is used. Now the thing is with this mod is that this mod is not meant to increase FPS. This mod is meant to increase your joules. And if you guys don't know what joules are, you might want to look that up, but essentially you'll know as a sniper, joules are way more important than FPS. Okay, back onto the original subject. Now, in order to apply this mod, what you're going to need is you're going to need to find a nail, so to speak, as the reference using, long enough so that way it is not as long as the piston head, but it's not short. So it has to be that just right amount. So essentially when you pull the bolt, it slams forward and that nail goes all the way to the very almost sticking out tip of the piston head. What I used in this video to seal mine was electric tape, but I'm recommending to you guys is to use Teflon tape because Teflon tape has much more of a air seal effect than electric tape does. All you have to do is you have to take this little nail, You have to find the center point where the air brake is, and you have to put it in there just a little bit, and then, of course, put some crazy glue in to hold it in place. Make sure you hold it, wait for about 30 seconds until the glue dries, and then it should be just fine. Then you can start. The next mod I want to talk to you guys about is the magazine. So, if you'll notice that VSR magazines and the M40 Sportline magazines are very similar in a lot of concepts. However, if you take a very close look, you'll notice, like in this picture here, that the VSR magazines have a lip underneath where the magazine catches. You'll also notice that the M40 does not have one of those. Now, if you have the stock hop-up, this will not affect you, but let's say an instance that you have like the Action Army VSR hop-up, or you put a VSR stock hop-up in there, or a VSR/Bar 10 related model hop-up unit in there. You'll notice that sometimes your magazines may or may not catch. This is something that users have been telling me that has been going on frequently, so I finally discovered a solution for it. If you look at in this video right here, you'll see that there is a crude example and then a finer example of a modified M40 magazine to simulate the lip that the VSR 10 magazine has. On the left is a cleaner one, on the right is a more crude one. But let's take a look at the much cleaner one. This, just like both of them, will work, but this one is much preferred. The only thing that I would need to do is take like a box cutter of some kind or some kind of precision blade and make almost like a U shape towards the bottom, just to simulate that same exact look. But that is how you correct that problem. Alright guys, so the last thing we're going to be talking about has to do with stability control. It goes in conjunction with your piston, and it also works well with a stuffed inner barrel. So this will be the stuffing of the stock. So I'm pretty sure if you guys take a look at the stock of your M40 rifle, you will see a bunch of Allen screws that keep the piece together. It is two separate pieces. In the stock contains one metal brick, or so to speak, like a little metal cylinder, and then the front of it also contains a metal cylinder as well. I would highly recommend removing them as a start, and then opening up the rifle, splitting it in half, and looking on the inside. Looking on the inside of it, you'll notice that there is a lot of pockets to fill. Now, when you see these pockets, the best thing to do, and this is also to promote the reduction of rattle in your gun and to give you more control, I would highly recommend that you would grab upholstery foam and you would cut each one out to its proper size and dimension. Even if it's a little bit bigger, that's fine. But so long as the rifle closes and it closes all of the gaps that are in it, thus filling the rifle completely whole. You want to try to eliminate any kind of heavy objects in there, so that way the rifle will not only be light, but will still also provide the same exact effect. Because, let's face it, everyone knows that the VSR was extremely light, that being one of its signature items about it. Why not make your M40 just as light as a VSR? Alright snipers, well that concludes the video, along with all of the cheaper upgrades and or modifications that you could do to your weapon to make it much better without breaking your wallet. Again guys, if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more. Also, keep in mind guys that I am reading everyone's comments. I am also reading everyone's comments on Facebook, and I am aware of the issues that some people are having, and do not worry, I am checking up on all of them. I have not forgotten your issues. If I've gotten back to you at least once, it probably means that I'm tracking it. If you have it in the comments, I'm tracking it. Just be sure to keep on commenting below so that way I can keep on looking into what more of you guys want to see. But anyway guys, that's all I got time for. This is Dusk from the Sons of Liberty Airsoft Group, signing off.